Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Lots of sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 19. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, lows dip down to about 4 above. Highs level off around 30. Tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently 19.
Kansas Mid-American Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier with the state legislative session of 2025 officially kicked off as of yesterday. The coverage of the media being able to access the state House chambers is just a little bit different this year, according to the press release that was given out by the Speaker of the House, Dan Hawkins. As KSNC News reports that the press release was given out yesterday from the Speaker's office, saying, quote, decorum is essential for good policymaking because it creates an appropriately formal atmosphere. It encourages order and focuses on the issues being discussed, not on the person speaking. To ensure this, all members of the media are asked to abide by the following rules, which will be enforced by the Sergeant at Arms. Some of the latest rule changes for the media in the House chambers includes where the media can observe some of the House proceedings. They're also reminding that the media must dress professionally to be on the House floor, and interviews will not be allowed in the House chambers during this session. Kansas Mid-American Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier.
Do you need assistance keeping your family warm this winter? Consider applying for the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, or LEAP, to keep your furnace on. The application period closes March 31st, 2025 at 5 p.m. Visit dcf.ks.gov and click on Apply for Services to submit your application. LEAP will help your family stay warm this winter. Funding is provided by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Sponsored by the Kansas Department for Children and Families and aired in cooperation with the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe. Put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
U.S. Senator Jerry Moran from the state of Kansas wrapped up last week, officially being appointed as the new head for the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs in Washington, D.C. As WIBW reports in a statement made at the end of last week, he said, quote, I am grateful for the opportunity to serve as chairman of the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs, and I look forward to working on behalf of the brave men and women who have served in our nation's armed forces, as well as their families, caregivers, and survivors. He goes on to say, I look forward to working with Senator Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut, former Congressman Doug Collins, and President Donald Trump to provide veterans with timely, convenient, and high-quality health care and benefits. We will also hold the VA accountable and work to empower veterans so they can achieve success after service. He goes on to say that in the state of Kansas, there are more than 250,000 veterans living in the state, saying that the work that we do on this committee is and will continue to be driven by the voices of veterans in Kansas and across the nation. Kansas Mid-American Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier.
Duzine Enterprises has been laying floors all over our area since 1962. That's miles and miles of carpet, laminate, tile, hardwood, and vinyl. And they are so good at it that their schedule is filling up fast. So while good things come to those who wait, if you have a remodel or a new construction project in your near future, you should probably get on their schedule today. So call 785-325-2379. That's 785-325-2379. Duzine Enterprises in Washington. Why would you go anywhere else? Financing available.
Nebraska Mid-American Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier. Well, the CEO and president of the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry has officially announced as of the end of last week that he will be resigning and walking away from his position. As according to the Nebraska Examiner, they say after a 7-year run of leading Nebraska's statewide business lobbying group, he has set to walk away from his post officially in June following the 2025 legislative session. According to the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce, they say they are looking for the next head of the chamber that describes itself as the state's, quote, voice of business and legislation, regulation, and policy matters. The 67-year-old Sloan, however, said he is far from retiring and is set to pursue other possibilities in the state where he said he grew up and graduated college. Sloan was a finalist for the University of Nebraska's presidency that went to Dr. Jeffrey Gold back in March of last year. And in 2014, he was the Republican candidate for governor for the state of Nebraska, among other races. Mid-America Network News.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services has been protecting farmers and ranchers season after season.
You need to know you're covered and you've got somebody covering your back.
You've got local people that everybody knows.
And we have a good policy and a good agent, and I guess that's what you need to be able to sleep at night.
Loyal, local, and rooted in ag for over 80 years. Learn more at fbfs.com/rootedinag. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Reporting local news, I'm Bruce Dierking. One Marysville celebrated the merger of Marysville Chamber and Main Street and Marysville Convention and Tourism with the annual meeting and awards banquet Saturday evening. Sharon Kessinger was named Volunteer of the Year. Jeff Christ, Black Squirrel. Blue River Eye Care won Business Design and Beautification. The Wagon Wheel was Business and Crownover Automotive Small Business of the Year, with Aslan Sweet named Outstanding Customer Service. The Legacy Award went to Drs. Ray Schultz and Arnold Nagley, who founded Valley Veterinary Clinic in Marysville in the mid-1970s, later establishing and expanding Valley Vet Supply with a retail store and worldwide mail order operations for livestock interests. One Marysville Board of Directors for 2025 include 2024 Chamber and Main Street President Liz Warren, Mandy Cook, Tristan Griffin, Jim Hull, Renee Hoffman, Ben Throm, Delaney Johnson, Amy Peschel, Rory Clark, Kelsey Smith, April Spicer, and Ty Warren. Wayne Cruzy is Executive Director for the organization. Marshall County Commissioners meeting Tuesday due to winter weather conditions last week. Continued discussion as to 2025 projects. Outgoing Commissioners Fritz Blasky and Keith Bramhall were recognized for their service. Washington County Commissioners meeting last week. Continued discussion of the county airport. It was noted that runway improvements, which may be a future project, $1 million. In other business, Scott Bokelman was appointed to the Washington County Hospital Board. Nemaha County Commissioners held a public hearing at last week's meeting with no comments coming forward regarding 2024 budget amendments, with the proposed budget then passed unanimously, including employee benefits, selection, and special machinery funds. Gage County Board of Supervisors honored Dave Swavely of Beatrice and Don Schuler of Wymore in appreciation of their service to the county with a reception after the board's recent meeting. Swavely, who previously had served as a supervisor several years ago, was reappointed to the 4th District position to fill a vacancy. Schuler completed a first term as 6th District supervisor. Gage County Crime Stoppers offering a $200 reward for information leading to the arrest of person or persons responsible for a recent burglary at the Doghouse in Wymore, December 26th, around 6 a.m. Anonymous tips may be left at 402-228-4343 by call or text. Your news on your time. It's local podcast available for our morning and midday news blocks Monday through Fridays on our website at KNDYradio.com and our social media.
Whether you're buying, building, remodeling, or refinancing, your home is a major investment in your life. At United Bank and Trust, we understand how important it is to work with someone who cares. Our loan officers have the experience it takes to make the process a smooth one. Come in for a visit or start online by filling out a loan application at ubankonline.com in as little as 20 minutes. Mortgage lending with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A memorial service is planned Wednesday for 33-year-old Caden C. Dillman, who passed away December 28th. Memorial service Wednesday, 11 a.m. at Christy Anders Funeral Home in Waterville. Private interment, Rose Hill Cemetery, Hebron, Nebraska. Memorials toward funeral expenses may be left with the Christy Anders Funeral Home in charge of arrangements for Caden Dillman. Roberta A. Bobby Dollinghouse, age 85, of Seneca, passed away Friday. Mass of Christian burial Friday, 11 a.m. at St. Peter and Paul's Catholic Church in Seneca. Burial in the Sacred Heart Cemetery at Baileyville. Rosary Thursday at 2 and 7 p.m. at the Lauer Funeral Home of Seneca, in charge of arrangements for Bobby Dollinghouse. On the Marshall County Senior Citizens Lunch Menu today, chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, green beans, and sliced pears. Tomorrow, barbecue meatballs, baby bakers, Brussels sprouts, and plums. KNDY News Time is 7:13.
Wait! Santa is done, my friends. After Santa's hard work comes the new Wi-Fi hungry connected gadgets. Make sure your router is capable and ready. Let Blue Valley help you kick off the new year on the right foot by upgrading your Wi-Fi experience with Blue Valley Technologies' worry-free Wi-Fi service.
To learn more, visit bluevalley.net.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Sunshine today with our highs in the lower to upper 20s. And partly cloudy skies overnight tonight with our lows in the single digits and lower teens. Mostly sunny skies into Wednesday with our highs in the mid to upper 30s. Then staying partly cloudy throughout Wednesday night with our lows in the lower to mid 20s. Sunshine as we head into Thursday as well with our highs in the mid 40s and lower 50s. And staying mostly clear throughout Thursday night with our lows in the lower to mid 20s. Still staying sunny and warmer as we head into Friday with our highs in the lower to mid 40s. Then staying mostly cloudy and much cooler into Friday night with our lows in the mid to upper teens. Sunshine as we head into Saturday, but cooler with our highs in the mid to upper 20s. And partly cloudy skies into Saturday night with our lows just above zero. Sunshine as we head into Sunday with our highs in the mid to upper teens. Then staying very chilly throughout Sunday night, partly cloudy with our lows just above and below zero. Mostly sunny skies as we head into next Monday with our highs in the single digits and lower teens. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster.
Average high temperature mid-January 39, record high in the state 64. The average low 18, the record low minus 14. Sunrise this morning 7:45, sunset this evening at 5:27.
From sunrise to sunset, Corner Bistro and Diner, formerly the Empty Cup in Marysville, has you covered. Start your day with a hearty breakfast or swing by for lunch and dinner, where every bite feels like home. Need a break? Treat yourself to their specialty coffee bar, complete with fresh pastries and sweet treats to brighten your day. The Corner Bistro and Diner, where great food and warm smiles are always on the menu. Check out their Facebook page, The Corner Bistro and Diner, your corner of comfort and flavor. Open daily 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., closing Monday and Wednesday at 3.
17 degrees this morning in Marysville. That's a check of the morning news and weather for this Tuesday, the 14th of January. KNDY News Time 7:16. I'm Bruce Dierking reporting.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Mike McCarthy era in Dallas is over. ESPN's Adam Schefter's reporting McCarthy's out as Cowboys head coach after the sides were unable to agree on a new contract, so he'll pursue other opportunities. The Bears and Saints expected to be interested in speaking with him about their head coaching jobs. McCarthy leaves Dallas with a winning record and 3 playoff appearances. The Eagles will be without an impact player on defense the remainder of the NFL playoffs. Starting linebacker Nakobe Dean suffered a torn patellar tendon in the NFC wildcard win over the Packers and will be sidelined the remainder of this postseason. Oren Burks replaced Dean in the lineup yesterday and will likely fill in for him moving forward. Next up for Philadelphia in the divisional round, the winner of tonight's Rams-Vikings wildcard game on Monday Night Football. For LA, the difference will be how its defensive front has grown over the last few weeks, explains ESPN Radio's unsportsmanlike co-host, Chris Canty.
Braden Fisk and Jared Verse, 2 rookies out of Florida State that they drafted, those 2 have combined for 13 sacks and 21 tackles for loss. I mean, that to me is where the game is going to be won and lost. The defensive front for the Rams, it's Kobe Turner, that's Byron Young, Jared Verse, and Braden Fisk, taking advantage of a depleted Minnesota Vikings offensive line. If they can put pressure on Sammy Darnold the same way that Detroit Lions front put pressure on him in Week 18, then all of a sudden, I think that this is a game that tilts in LA's favor.
Vikings-Rams, Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern, ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Plus. The Manning Cast with Peyton and Eli Manning on ESPN2. Former heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, in a video posted to social media today, announced his latest retirement from boxing. College basketball, Duke defensive stopper Malik Brown, one of the best interior defenders in the ACC, will miss several weeks because of a sprained knee.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
The Mudecas basketball tournament tipped off with girls play Monday in Beatrice. Diller-Odell beat Tri-County 60-55 in the A Division, and the Lady Griffins face top seed Johnson Brock Thursday at 5 in the auditorium. Southern girls fell to Meridian 44-33 and play again Friday at 4:15 versus Parkview Christian at the middle school. Boys take center court today in the A Division. Southern is the number 6 seed versus 3rd seed Johnson County Central. Tip-off at 3:30 in the auditorium. 2nd seed Diller-Odell in the B Division will take on 7th seed Parkview Christian this evening at 5:30 at Beatrice Middle School. Tuesday night basketball tip-offs. Marysville hosting Abilene. Girls and boys action live on AM 1570 FM 94.1. In our Tuesday tip-off, Valley Heights entertains Washington County live on FM 95.5. High school action on air, online, and on our mobile app. Hanover tips off at Lynn. Frankfort hosting Donovan West. Axtell travels to Onega. Centralia's home to Northeast Kansas Homeschool.
ABC News, Wall Street now. It was a mixed Monday in the markets. The S&P bounced off a 2-month low to close fractionally higher. The Dow Jones rose 359 points, but the Nasdaq Composite, dragged down by tech shares, gave up 0.4%. How many social media apps can one person own? Bloomberg reports that the Chinese government is considering a plan to sell TikTok to Elon Musk, the owner of X, to avoid having it shut down in the U.S. TikTok calls the story pure fiction. The check is literally in the mail for about 1 million Americans. The IRS is sending out payments to people who didn't take a COVID stimulus payment, but then also failed to claim a credit on their 2021 taxes. The checks are worth up to $1,400. And Walmart says customers should throw out a chicken broth product that was sold mostly in southern states late last year. The retailer has recalled 48-ounce cartons of great family value-sized chicken broth because of what it calls packaging problems. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm Andy Hoosier, and here's your latest Larry Steckline report.
Well, as Tom Vilsack, our Secretary of Agriculture, currently leaves office, he's the second longest-serving USDA secretary. He served under the Obama administration, and an interesting situation developed there when a group of congressmen and senators decided that we ought to close a bunch of FSA offices, 250 of them. And now the Secretary of Ag has a job. Do you close them or do you not? Well, he found out pretty quickly. You better leave your hands alone when it comes to trying to close these babies, even though it would make dollars and cents big time. If you ever close, and the congressmen in those areas where the numbers are pretty light as far as farmers coming to the office, they don't want their farmers to drive another 20, 30 miles. And so consequently, nothing happened. There was an issue in 2010 when Congress passed provisions to bar secretaries from closing offices, even though they're basically empty. Vilsack said there's 250 FSA offices across the country that have no employees. They might have somebody come by, an employee somewhere, and pick up the mail, and that's about it. Doesn't make much sense, does it, folks? Well, I guess we kind of like it because we don't want those few farmers to drive a whole lot more miles. As we look at the budget for USDA, it's kind of interesting. Bill Sack said that the budget in 2024 was $228 billion.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network.
There will be a land auction, 104 acres, more or less, Marshall County cropland, located to the southeast of Blue Rapids. Sale to be held Friday, January 17th, 10 a.m. at the Blue Rapids Community Center. This property is 104 acres, more or less, in Bigelow Township with 76 acres cropland, located from the Blue River Bridge, 5 miles east on Highway 9 to 15th Road, then 2 miles south to Yonder Road, east 3/4 mile. The farm is terraced with 70-plus acres, planted corn crop this past season. It's been in a corn and bean rotation. 6 acres CRP in the southwest field. The balance, 28 acres, consists of 10 acres hay ground, mostly in the northeast corner, waterways, and 2 tree-lined ditches. Farm is located on a township rock road close to the grain terminal near Frankfort. The sale for Gila Farms, Friday, January 17th, begins 10 a.m. at the Community Center in Blue Rapids. For inspection or details, contact Olmsted Real Estate and Auction.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Shelby Varner. The Finances and the Farm course from K-State's Agricultural Economics Department has been available since 2021, and recently K-State Extension farm economist Robin Reed and her colleague Lavelle Windsor took the time to revamp and record the courses for participants.
Time goes on, it needs a little refresher. So Lavelle and I had a big undertaking last year where we re-recorded all of the short, actually 26 different videos of the class, had them professionally recorded. And then we also worked with some course designers to help make the class a little more interactive. But basically, as they go through the class, what they're going to do is listen to short videos where they're learning the content. They're going to be doing some interactive activities to help reinforce the content. And then they're going to take, we call them quizzes, but they're really kind of just, make sure you understand, use this in an actual setting kind of activity where they're putting numbers into a financial statement and analyzing it. So that way they're learning it, they're using it, and they're applying it. So it walks through a number of different financial topics in that regard.
Reed shares her timeline recommendation for completing the course.
So when a participant signs up for the class, they actually have 6 months to complete it. But we really recommend, and what we mostly see, is doing it within 2 to 3 weeks, where you do what we call a module. It's kind of just one lesson. Do 2 or 3 lessons a week. The nice thing is you do have access to that content for 6 months. So we've actually heard from participants how nice it is to go back and actually watch a video again for a second time, or take one of our spreadsheets and do their financial statement and work on it some more. So yeah, the access is for 6 months, but really to take the class, I really like people to sign up for it when they know they have time to take it.
She says why this class is valuable for people working with the Farm Service Agency.
If you, especially beginning farmers, are going to work with a Farm Service Agency loan, go ahead and take this class ahead of time, and that way you learn about those financial statements that go right into your application for that loan with Farm Service Agency. And then it's also a checkbox on that application that you've already have done your FSA borrowers training credits. Now, if you already have a loan, a lot of times you're required to do a class like ours within 2 years of that loan.
That was K-State Extension farm economist Robin Reed letting us know about the refreshed Finances and the Farm course on www.agmanager.info. I'm Shelby Varner, and this has been Agriculture Today over at the K-State Radio Network.
The Manhattan Commission Company special stock cow sale has been rescheduled for Wednesday, January 15th, starting at 11 a.m. First calf heifers include 156 fancy Angus first calf heifers mixed consignments, plus 52 black white face semi-Angus and Charlotte Angus cross first calf heifers, all bred to low birth weight bulls for January 17th through April calving. There will be 14 fancy bull Hereford first calf heifers bred to low birth weight Hereford bulls for February through March calves. Spring cows include 400 red Angus, black white face, and Hereford bred cows, 3 years older, including 112 reputation Red Angus cows will be 5 years old, bred to Peeper Red Angus bulls for March and April calves. 90 choice home-raised Angus cows, 3 to 7 years old, bred to Angus bulls for March and April calving. There'll be 100 black baldy, and Sim-Angus cross cows, 3 years to short and solid. They'll have September through November calves by side. For more information on the special cow sale to be held Wednesday, January 15th at the Manhattan Commission Company, please call 800-834-1029 or check our website at mcclivestock.com.
We don't get to it every year, but January has a weather singularity that everyone hopes for. We explain on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
If you're a farmer or rancher, chances are you've thought about joining Kansas Farm Bureau. So what's stopping you? Your membership means you have a seat at the table when it comes to the issues that affect your farm. Things like trade, taxes, water, and regulations. The state's largest farm advocacy organization brings your message to policy decision makers at the county, state, and national level. The voice of agriculture becomes your voice and fights for Kansas farmers and ranchers. And a Kansas Farm Bureau membership includes other benefits. For about $50 a year, you'll receive discounts on equipment and supplies, cell phone plans, financial and legal support, home and office supplies, and more. You'll also receive Kansas Living, a quarterly lifestyle magazine featuring real stories of farmers and producers around the state, plus great recipes, crafts, and things to see and do in Kansas. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/farmerrancher to learn more.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Tuesday, January 14th, the 14th day of the year. Actress Holland Taylor celebrates a birthday, and Marilyn Monroe married Joe DiMaggio on this day in 1954. The term January thaw is often tossed about this time of year, but there is some contention as to whether it's real or not. In some, but not all years, there is a statistical bump to above average temperatures around the third week of January, a phenomenon that seems most pronounced in the eastern half of the country. The proverbial thaw can last from a few days to a week or more, but temper your hopes for an early spring. January thaws are often bookended by Arctic outbreaks. That means a February freeze is sure to follow. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Find your local weather outlook online at almanac.com.
7:31 from KNDY, 17 degrees ahead of sunrise. Chilly high today, only around 20 on tap.
Mid-American Network Sports, I'm Doug Downs. The final piece to the playoff puzzle has been put into place. The Los Angeles Rams dismantled the Minnesota Vikings last night in the final wildcard game, 27-9. The Rams get the win. They now move on to play the Philadelphia Eagles, the number 2 seed. The Rams were able to sack Sam Darnold 9 times last night in the game and took control from start to finish. The divisional rounds will begin this weekend of the NFL playoffs. Basketball tonight. The Kansas State Wildcats are trying to get back on the winning track after dropping a couple in a row. Kansas State has a tough schedule for about the next 4 games. It begins tonight as Kansas State will host Texas Tech at Bramlage Coliseum. That game will tip off at 8 o'clock. The Wichita State Shockers are 0-3 in conference play. They'll try to get a conference win tonight as they host Charlotte. Mid-America Network Sports.
The Mudecas basketball tournament tipped off with girls play Monday in Beatrice. Diller Odell beat Tri-County 60-55 in the A division, and the Lady Griffins face top seed Johnson Brock Thursday at 5 in the auditorium. Southern girls fell to Meridian 44-33 and play again Friday at 4:15 versus Parkview Christian at the middle school. Boys take center court today in the A division. Southern is the number 6 seed versus 3rd seed Johnson County Central. Tip-off at 3:30 in the auditorium. 2nd seed Diller Odell in the B division will take on 7th seed Parkview Christian this evening at 5:30 at Beatrice Middle School. Tuesday night basketball tip-offs. Marysville hosting Abilene. Girls and boys action live on AM 1570 FM 94.1. In our Tuesday tip-off, Valley Heights entertains Washington County live on FM 95.5. High school action on air, online, and on our mobile app. Hanover tips off at Lynn. Frankfort hosting Donovan West. Axtell travels to Onega. Centralia's home to Northeast Kansas Homeschool.
KNDY.